In this video, I'm going to show you how to install WordPress on your website. So this is just assuming that you've got your domain all set up, you've got your web hosting all set up. So the first thing that we need to do here is we need to install WordPress in order to get our WordPress website going. So I'm using Namecheap as my I'm using Namecheap as my web hosting provider. And if you've got a different web hosting provider, this will look similar. It will be similar, if not completely identical to what I'm doing here. So just follow along. If you have more than one screen available, go ahead and throw this video on one screen. You can keep pausing it when you need to do exactly what I'm doing, make it a little bit easier for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start in cPanel of your web hosting provider. So once you get everything set up, your domain, you got your web hosting set up, we're going to go ahead and start in cPanel. So once you're there, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to scroll down, and under Software, here you're going to want to click on WordPress Manager by Softaculous. You can also do a search under Find Functions Quickly up at the top, and all you have to do is type in WordPress, and WordPress Manager by Softaculous shows up. Now I'm also getting a script down here. It's called WordPress under Scripts. You do not want to click on that. You want to click on the WordPress Manager by Softaculous. So go ahead and click that. And this pops up. These are all my domains here that I have. So we're going to go ahead and click on the install button. You're probably going to have just one domain in here, or you won't have any domains. You'll just click this blue install button here. And once this pops up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to keep in the install tab up here at the top. And under software setup, you don't want to click this quick install button. I'll go through all the options with you. That way you know exactly what you want to do. And it's more of an advanced setup rather than the quick install, because you won't be able to do your a username and password on your own. You're going to be stuck with what they give you. And what they give you is this huge, long admin password that nobody's ever going to remember unless you write it down. So I like to remember things, so that's what I like to do. So I will take you through that way. So under software setup here, we're going to go ahead and choose the installation URL. So under choose protocol, now most likely you're probably going to have a secure certificate already set up, which is called an SSL. If for some reason you do not, you should have an SSL set up to where you will have an HTTPS, because if you do not have an HTTPS, users that come to your website are going to get this certificate warning. They're saying it's saying that your website is not secure, and you're not going to hardly get any views to your website. So make sure that you have a certificate set up. Namecheap, if you have Namecheap, Namecheap automatically sets you up with a certificate. You don't even have to worry about it. But if you don't have Namecheap and you don't get an automatic certificate, you might want to contact your web host provider, see if they can get you one. You can get them for free online. I'm probably going to be doing another video on that subject later, on how to get a certificate for free on your own, but I'm going to cover that later. So for now, I'm just going to assume that you have an HTTPS certificate, which is an SSL. If for some reason you don't and you want to do an HTTP, all you have to do is just click on that HTTP, and or if you want a subdomain of www before it, you can do that as well. But I always do an HTTPS. Okay, so here you're going to want to select the domain that you want to install this in. If you have multiple domains, you're going to get a down box where you can select. Now you can start typing in the first couple of letters if you have a huge list of domains like I do. So this one, okay. All right, so this one I'm going to select here. And then where it says in directory, just leave that blank because it's going to put it in its own directory. So just leave it blank. It'll make its own directory for your WordPress files, and it should make its own. Choose the version that you want to install. I always do the most recent. These are stable versions, so these are not beta versions or versions that have not been released to the general public yet. These are all stable versions, so I always do the most recent version simply because most of these updates that come out are security updates. So if you do one that's not the most recent version, you could be setting yourself up for security flaws. So make sure that you put in the most recent version. So in my case, it's the one here up all the way at the top, and it's 5.8.1. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Okay, so site settings. These are the settings for your site. You want to put in your site name and site description. So I'm going to put that in mine here. And site description, you do not have to have a site description. If you don't want to put one in now, you don't have to. So I'm going to leave it at my WordPress blog. That way I can put it in later if I want. I don't like to leave blank things here, so I'm just going to keep it at my WordPress blog, and I'll change it later in the settings. Okay, admin username. You can change this to whatever you want it to be. One thing that I do not do is log in under admin. And the reason why I do not log in under admin on any one of my WordPress websites is simply because if someone wants to come in and try to hack your website, the main username that they're going to type in is admin and try to get in. So I do not create admin username. So I always do not do that. So you can put whatever you want in. You can leave it at admin. That's the reason why I don't do it. That's up to you. So I'm going to put it as, this is going to be a news website. So I'm going to put it here. I try to put it as something that people aren't going to try to guess when if they try to hack your site later. Admin password. It's automatically going to generate one for you. However, you do not have to keep it. You can get rid of it here. Just get rid of it just like this and put in your own. So once you get rid of it, you can generate another one by clicking on the key. You do have to have a strong password, though. It has to be, I think, over 80 out of 100. Or it might be 85 after 100, over 100 out of 100. I can't remember exactly what it is. But for now, I'm going to put this as my password, and I'm going to change it later. Admin email. This can be anything that you want it to be. Any email address that you want your anything about your WordPress website to go to. If you have critical errors on your website, if you have comments on your website, if you have contact forms on your website, then you're going to get that come through to this email. So make sure that you put in an email where you are going to receive that email, an email that you check regularly from day to day. That way you know you're not going to miss stuff that's important things regarding your WordPress website. Language here, select your language. I'm in the United States, so I'm going to select English. You can select other languages if you want, if you don't want English. So I'm going to keep it as English. Now, here, these are optional under select plugins. These you do not have to do at all. I don't do any of them, so I uncheck them. This is something that Namecheap does. You may not see these options if you don't have Namecheap, or you may see options that are not here, just like that are like mine. You may see something different. Do these if you want. You don't have to. Limit login attempts, Classic Editor, WP Central Total, W3 Total Cache, and WP Super Cache. If you hover over these, it's going to tell you exactly what each one of them does. So that is up to you what you want to do. But if you select one of these here, and the reason why I don't do this is because if you select one of these here and you want to uninstall them later, then it's going to bring you up an error in WordPress. It's going to say missing files. And that error is going to stay up until you reinstall one of these plugins, the plugin that you deactivated. I mean, if you deactivate it, it's not gonna bother it. But if you delete them, you check them here and you delete them later, it's going to bring up those errors. So, like if I want to do Classic Editor, which I always do Classic Editor, I do it on my own inside of WordPress rather than have this do it for me. That way, just in case, some way, somehow, I don't want Classic Editor later on, I can delete it and not have to worry about getting those errors later. Here's some advanced options. You don't need to do anything with these. I don't touch these. You can look over these if you want. You can go over the little eyes and it'll tell you exactly what each one of them does. I recommend that you do not fiddle with them unless you know exactly what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing with them, don't even click this plus block box, just move on. Select theme, okay? I normally don't do this here. Absolutely, I never do this here. So what I do is I always leave it at the default theme, which is right now it's 2021. It's usually the year. So you can go through here if you want, and you can look over the themes, and you can select the theme that you want installed with your WordPress website. But like I said, you don't have to do that. I usually go with the 2021 or whatever the default theme. And you can click Show All Themes as well. And all you have to do is click Install. Now you can also put in your email address here, and it will install, or it will send you email installation details to the email address that you put in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Install. And you're going to see this checking submitted data. It's going to go very, very quickly. Actually, right now it's going to go kind of slow, but it will speed up, and then it will say the software was installed successfully. So here is my successfully created domain. I can get it here, and then my administrative email is my domain /WP admin, and it's going to allow me to log in. Now, make sure that you remember your password. If it's one of those big long passwords that WordPress gives you, please make sure that you have written that down. You can go ahead and click on this link. It will take you through to the back end of your WordPress website. So you won't be prompted to log in when you click on this link, because it's a back end link. It's automatically going to take you there because it knows that you just installed it. You're going to it from the back end. So if I click it, it's going to open up a new tab, and then it's going to take me to my brand new WordPress website. This is just a very, very fresh install where you can then manage it from here. So I want to take you back here to this screen here that we landed on, and you can go ahead and tweet this out if you want. I never do that. So if you click on, let's see, I always click on the X button, and then I refresh it, and I go all the way down to the bottom, and Diet Newswire is my my new website. And if I click on login, if you click on login in any of these, it's going to take you in from the back end. You will not have to log in on the back end. However, if you do, let me open up a incognito here and show you. And let me type in, and we'll go here. Actually, let's see, /WP-admin. And it's going to want me to log in. This is what the login page is going to look like. After you click login, after you put in all your credentials and you click login, then you can save the password. If you're using Chrome, if you're using Firefox, I'm not sure about any of the others. I don't use those. But you can save the password if you want, and click on the Remember Me here at the bottom. So that's all there is to it on installing your first WordPress website. Um, Not really hard. It's very simple. Once you do it a couple times, you won't even need to watch this video anymore. So watch out for my next videos. I'm going to be going through settings. I'm going to be going through themes and plugins, and we're just going to go right down in order. And I'm going to show you how to set everything up with your WordPress website. We're going to look at certain themes. We're going to be putting widgets in. We're going to be adding users. It's going to be really fun. So watch out for my next videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified every time that I upload a new video to this channel. And I got some really cool things coming up for you. So if you're wanting to learn more about WordPress, stick with me. And you're definitely in the right place. Thank you for watching my tutorial on how to install WordPress. And if you liked it, make sure you like it down below. Give me a comment if you liked it as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.